What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Beasley. Hope you all are staying positive and cool out there. I'm coming at you guys with a review of The Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 5, Episode 8, Serving Up Betrayals. Now, if you hear a lot of noise in the background, it is pouring down raining down here in Houston. And this episode, I gotta say, it was pretty good. I'm a little disappointed that we didn't get to see the entire fight, but it was a good setup episode, I must say. So we start this episode with Candace. She is in the studio singing that one love song that she sung to Chris. But they're actually doing like a remix of the song. It's like the go-go version. If you don't know what go-go music is, the epitome of go-go music is A. Marie's One Thing. And I feel like that song kind of sparked the whole entire go-go area, the go-go era that kind of started back in, I want to say 2003. And then you had Jennifer Lopez hop on, and also Beyonce with Crazy in Love. That's what go-go music is, basically. But Candace sounded pretty good, I must say. Some people are a better studio singer than they are a live singer. And Candace, in my opinion, sounded pretty good. So she then sits down with her husband, Chris, and then they talk about basically her relationship with Monique and how she just doesn't see it for her, and then it's a wrap on their relationship. And honestly, I don't blame Candace for feeling the way that she does. Like, at this point, y'all, this season I'm Team Candace. I already gotta admit it. Like, so far, like, Candace, yeah, she's been wrong in the past, but in this current season, I'm not really seeing where a majority of the blame is placed on her. And we're gonna get into that a little bit later. So we then go to Ashley. Her and Michael are going to dinner. They're going to basically talk about their issues on camera. So they sit down, and Ashley, in her confessional before they have to sit down, says that Michael, while in Vegas, this is what Michael told her, that while in Vegas, he met some girls at a strip club, and then they went to the MGM casino, and then you see that video play of the one girl like rubbing his shoulder while they were like sitting at like a blackjack table. So she then asks, like the ladies ask if he wants to go back to a hotel, and of course he says yes, because he allegedly had a lot to drink. And then Michael was so drunk he fell asleep, and then when he woke up to check the time, the girl then snapped a photo. Which is a complete lie. If you go to Gossip in the City, I think she may have reposted the video, but she reposted this video like, I want to say a year ago. And the video also had Michael in the bed, like, arguing with this girl, like that was his girlfriend or something. Like, them two had a rapport. Like, he knew who that girl was prior to that night that he was messing with. So, for Ashley to believe this story is just like... I feel like Ashley just believing this story for the cameras. Like, she knows what's up. So, Ashley says that their relationship is a bit, like, non-traditional, but Michael says that basically like their intimacy was lost and that he was craving other women, kind of low-key putting the blame on Ashley because, you know, she was pregnant having your baby. Like, she's not going to feel 100% after having a baby. Like, it's kind of reminds me of like Tristan Thompson. Like, he gets these girls pregnant, and once they are pregnant, like, he just goes and cheats because I'm not about to have sex with a pregnant lady. That's what it is. Like, I think some straight men are turned off by pregnant women. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not a straight man, but that's just what I've been seeing lately these days. So Ashley then tells them that like they need to put a stop to all the transgressions. Like, she says that, you know, there was a girl that I used to mess with, and you used to basically, like, they had a threesome together with the girl. And she's basically like, you know, this is it. Like, we need to put an end to all of this. And then Michael then gets irate. And then he's like, you know what, F this. And then the producer steps in. And then Michael's like, don't you think I've given you guys enough? Like, I literally just told her something that was very, basically, like, humiliating to me. Like, what more do you guys need? Like, I'm pretty much done at the moment. A trend with these reality shows, they're all breaking the fourth wall these days. Like, the producers are part of the main cast at this point. Like, every single reality show we see a producer step in on camera like they were there from day one. Like, it's crazy to me. But like Ashley is basically like just sitting there like, this is your mess, like you can expect to like dwell in it. And I don't think them two are going to be back next season, mainly because Michael wants to cheat and peach and Ashley just wants some money. So we go over to Monique. She's at a business meeting for her Not for Lazy Moms podcast. She has about like 3 other ladies on her staff. And she wants to do this live event for her podcast. But she tells the ladies that, actually her advisors tell her that out of 300 tickets sold, there's only 20 that have like been sold. And it's just like, how long have y'all been selling the tickets? Like, Monique is... I don't know how that's popular, because Monique is very popular on Instagram. So I don't know how she's only selling 20 tickets, but I guess. And she then reveals that she spent over $80K on this event, and it's still not even finalized yet. And then they talk about her accounting, and then also she says that she wants Karen and Ray to be on the panel because they've been married for over 100 years. And then she also wants Candace to be on the panel, despite her shading Candace not going on her honeymoon yet. But I'm just like, Monique, why would you expect Candace to want to be a part of this panel when you two are not on good terms whatsoever? Like, you didn't even say goodbye to this girl in the last episode. I don't think them two even saw each other after the lake house trip. So I don't know what Monique's... Like, what world is she living in, y'all? Like, did she just think that everything is just going to happen because she says it is? I mean, I guess. So we see Giselle in this pleather ensemble shopping for her tacky-ass house. And I must say, y'all, I think I can see into the future, because I had a dream about this entire scene. Like, I remember Giselle being in that entire outfit with those drug dealer sunglasses she was wearing. Like, I was just like... Okay, girl. Like, once again, she can't dress. Like, the peplum was cute, but she didn't pair it with anything. Like, she paired it with some ripped jeans and, like, just a big-ass black tank top. And I'm just like, once again, girl, she can't dress. And then she had the nerve to say in her confessional, like, I know what I'm doing. Like, I want my bedroom to just be all white and clean. I have just an amazing decor style. And I'm like, the lies you tell. Judging by that house, I have seen better looking decor on The Sims. Like, she is really off of her rocker. So then Robin shows up from Ross, and then they proceed to... Actually, Giselle first asks Robin, like, has she started looking for a house? And then Robin says no, and then it cuts to her confessional stating that she's talking to Juan, and she's like, if we want to get a house, like, we need to get married. And Juan is obviously going to marry her by the end of this episode. Like, this is her half storyline. But they then proceed to talk more about the situation with Monique overreacting to Candace, and how, like, Monique was just so gung-ho just to, like, basically, like, Monique wanted to just get at Candace. Like, she wanted to find any rhyme or reason to just go after Candace back in that lake house trip. And she basically gives her the rundown of what happened while Giselle was gone accepting her award. So they then talk about the whole Ashley and Michael situation, and then Giselle is actually glad they told her so she wouldn't be fully blindsided. And then Robin reveals that she accidentally told Ashley, like, she accidentally sent Ashley a picture of Michael. Basically, like, the Bob post from Gossip in the City, she accidentally sent it to Ashley, but really she was supposed to send it to Charisse. But then she covered up saying, like, what do you want me to do about this situation? And I'm like, smart move, Cookie. So then Giselle has the idea to take all the ladies to a winery. That way they won't, like, act up in a winery, and then they can all celebrate her winning her award. So we then see Wendy. Her and her husband go and take her one son to a karate practice. And then they sit down, and then Wendy reveals that her maternity leave is almost up, but she hasn't notified her professor job that she even wants to come back. And then Wendy tells her husband that she doesn't really, like, have the passion for teaching anymore, but she wants to go back to teaching because she basically doesn't want to disappoint her mom. Like, you know, Nigerians, like, they hold education, like, to a very high esteem. And she doesn't want to disappoint her mom, but at the same time, she doesn't know if she can juggle being a full-time mom, being a news anchor host, being a professor, and also being on this show. And in my opinion, I feel like she should just drop being a professor. Like, who wants to teach these days? Like, no shade to my teachers out there, but that's just not... that's just not an ideal profession in my opinion. Like, who wants to teach kids? I mean, some people have a passion for it, but maybe it's just me. Y'all can shade me in the comments if you want to. I just couldn't be a teacher, especially the way these kids are set up these days. Sorry, y'all, the video cut off. So we pick up and we see Monique and Chris walking their baby. And then Chris kind of asks Monique simply like how much she has spent on her Not for Lazy Moms live podcast event. And then Monique reveals that and I'm assuming that she already went to the accountant like before having this scene. And then she reveals that she spent over $200,000 on this event, and they still only sold like 20 out of the 300 tickets that they need to sell for this event. And then Chris is kind of perplexed, like, Jesus, like you still haven't turned a profit at all? And Chris then tells her that if this business is not turning an investment, then it might be time to shut it down. And honestly, not to like shit on Monique's dreams, but I agree, like, you need to start seeing some type of profit from this. I mean, with Monique's clout and her Instagram following, like, it just is unacceptable at the fact that she is not able to like generate more of what's the word I'm looking for? Like more of a buzz for this event. So then Monique then talks about Candace dropping out, and she's annoyed because she has to get like new flyers made and new marketing done for the whole entire event. But at the same time, if you already spent $200,000, I'm pretty sure you have a few extra $100 to go ahead and like remake some flyers. Again, I don't understand why she's so surprised. Like, you and Candace are on good terms. Like, what did you expect? Like, her to just say like just be fake and like just do you a favor? Like, I'm pretty sure you're not paying Karen's, and I'm pretty sure you weren't going to pay Candace either. Like, this is for a favor. You're not my friend. I'm not doing a favor for you. Like, come on, Monique. So then they also split, and they show Candace in her confessional. She says that she doesn't want to be in the podcast because, like I said, the two aren't on good terms. So we then go to Robin. We see her visiting her parents, and she says that they treated Ron like a son because both of his parents were dead at the age of him being 15. And she then reveals that to her parents that she wants to purchase a home, but she also wants her and Juan to get remarried. And then the dad is basically just sitting there like, haven't you done this already? Like, the dad was not here for it at all. He was kind of just like, keep me out of this at this time. Like, I'm cool with you guys being together. You got kids together, but if this marriage fails again, like, don't come to me crying. But the mom is here for it. The mom wants them to get remarried again. And I like that they're getting remarried. Like I've said in previous videos, Robin and Juan, they just have this weird unspoken chemistry, and I feel like them two were meant to be together. So we then go to Ashley and her mom. They're going to this tacky-ass thrift store to help shop for her little sister's homecoming. And I'm really surprised, like, this is like the 5th season, and we didn't even know Ashley really had any siblings like that. Like, we knew she had siblings by, like, her biological dad that she didn't know because her biological dad's probably racist or something. But this is the daughter that her mom had from that one, like, Ashley's stepdad that Michael had a problem with because he was basically homeless, kind of squatting in a house that he was paying for. This is that daughter. And I'm actually surprised, like, I'm showing my age, like, I was born in 92, but girls don't wear gowns to homecoming anymore these days. Like, I know they do for prom, but homecoming, they just wear whatever these days, because the dresses she tried on just looked like something from Rue 21. Like, it just, like, none of the stuff looked good at all. So the mom tells Ashley that she needs to put her foot down in regards to Michael. And then Ashley says she's not afraid to leave Michael. She left him before. And I'm just like, Ashley, you're afraid to leave Michael because that is your check. So we then see Giselle. She shows up to the vineyard, and all the ladies then proceed to arrive to the vineyard. Karen had on like a nasty Fendi shawl. I absolutely loved it. So they're all there to celebrate Giselle and her having a book. Monique shades her book saying, like, you wrote about your ex-husband and now you're back with your ex-husband. Like, the book was all about his transgressions and cheating. And now, are you going to write a book too if he ends up doing all this all over again? Which he is. I do not... Jamal is cheating on Giselle, y'all, still, to this day. So Candace shows up and she hugs Monique, but then pays her debts at the same time. She doesn't really talk to her. And in her confessional, she's like, we're not friends. Like, I'm here for my other friend. And then we see Karen in her confessional. She shades the event. Like, Karen is such a confessional gangster this season, and I love it. Like, she hasn't really gone after any of the ladies or, like, been in any type of conflict with any of the cast members, but come time for that reunion, like, she is going to be at it with Giselle, and I'm here for it, because everything she says about Giselle is on point. Like, Giselle doesn't know how to host. Like, she doesn't really... Like, she didn't even really have a set purpose for being at the vineyard. Like, what does a book launch have to... Like, what does celebrating a book have to do with being at a vineyard, for example? And it's like, she was just there for the scene. That's what it is. And you never really see Giselle put on any type of, like, lavish events or... Like, I'm surprised she didn't even do a makeup event for those BH Cosmetic palettes that she put out a few years ago. So Ashley shows up last, and she states that, you know, it may be kind of hard to breastfeed and conceive because basically she alludes to she might be pregnant again, and all the girls are shocked because this whole cheating scandal is very fresh, and all of a sudden you're just pregnant again? Like, what's going on? And her pregnancy is to not only cover up this whole entire scandal, but also to save face. Like, Ashley and Michael are just good at saving face. Like, they are just PR trained somehow. So she also acts like everything is cool with her and Michael, and she basically tells them the watered down version of Michael's truth, that he was in the hotel with the lady because he was basically like blacked out drunk and they didn't have sex. And then they proceed to ask Ashley, like, well, do you really believe that he didn't have sex? And then Ashley says yes, and then the girls are just like, really? And then Ashley's like, yeah, because, like, he wouldn't just lie to me, like, just tell me, like, just a little bit of the truth and not tell the whole truth. That's basically lying to her twice. And Monique is basically saying, like, well, are you sure he's not just telling you, like, just, like, a little bit of the truth so you won't completely run out of the door? And Ashley denies that. And then she also proceeds to reveal that them two basically are on their Will and Jada shit. They have an open relationship. Or at least had an open relationship. And then Monique's shady ass asks, like, oh, like, you guys had threesomes? Like, was it with two guys? And Ashley's like, it was two girls. And then, and then Wendy proceeds to ask, like, so if a scandal like this happens again with Michael, what's next, basically? And Ashley says that we'll be done. And that's not going to happen. Ashley is trying to ride out a few more years so that prenup can take effect. And also, she's ultra solidified because she's about to have 2 kids from him. So Ashley knows what she's doing at this point, y'all. Like, it's not even worth getting upset over, like, Ashley and Michael. Like, just let that man cheat in peace. So Candace then kind of breaks up the whole entire conversation because she's kind of, like, tipsy. She's like, oh, I just love everybody. And then Monique's like, yeah, you love everybody. That's what it takes, wine, huh? And then Candace, and then Ashley proceeds to ask, like, oh, well, are you and Monique on good terms? And Candace basically just says, like, yeah, we are. And Monique says, yeah, I'm just meeting her where she's at, which is back there. And then Candace is like, I love Monique, even when she pretends to be asleep. And then Monique takes offense to that, and she says, like, I was not asleep. Like, why would I pretend to be asleep? Like, you wouldn't understand. Like, you don't have kids. Like, you don't know what I've been through to get that whole entire lake house event together. And then Candace is like, oh, are we mom-shaming now? And then Monique's like, I'm not mom-shaming. Like, you just don't have a kid, so you would never understand. And then but they proceed to argue even more. And then Monique even says that their friendship was a facade. They argue some more, and Monique says that she's mad about her befriending Charisse. And in my opinion, she should really be mad at Giselle. Like, people ignore the fact, like, Giselle is just able to stir up a lot of mess, and nobody calls her out about it. And then she was the main person that stirred up the fact that Monique's baby is not by Chris, kind of solidifying the fact that she cheated on her husband with her trainer. But yet, for some reason, she's not as mad at Charisse and Giselle as she is at Candace. And it solidifies the fact that them two behind the scenes probably had a closer relationship, but like now all of a sudden, like she just expected Candace to have her back instead of befriending Charisse. But really, it's misplaced anger. Like, you should be mad at Giselle and Charisse, and to an extent, Robin as well. Like, why are you taking out all your issues and frustrations on Candace? So then they proceed to argue even more, and then Candace is like, drag me, Monique, drag me. And then you see Monique flipping her hair and all that, and then she proceeds to yank her hair down. And I couldn't really tell who leaped over the next person. Like, I couldn't tell who, like, basically, like, made the first like interaction, but then the episode goes off. I really hope they are going to show this fight next week. We didn't get any preview, so we don't know what is going to happen. But like I said, I am still like, I like Monique and Candace, but I'm still team Candace in this situation. Like, you see Monique going to each and every blog trying to state her case because she looks absolutely terrible this season. Like, Monique is not looking good. Coupled with the fact that there is some shit going on with her and Chris, that them two are like trying their best not to argue with each other, but it's just like more and more seeds getting planted for her shit to just end up in shambles. And honestly, I really could see her leaving the show after this if she knows what's good for her marriage, because that's going to be the next thing that's going to be called to the carpet. And I, like I've said many a times, I don't want to see Monique and Chris like go on the outs because of this reality show. But those are my reviews on this episode. I give it a 9 out of 10. It was pretty good. I didn't give it a whole 10 because they didn't show the fight like they promised. I'm getting so tired of these reality shows pulling a bait and switch on us, but it keeps on working, so whatever. But be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm going to come at you guys with some more content. Take care.